Hey, what's up, guys? I guess that's going to be the title of my video. What's up? Anyway, I've been busy researching stuff, trying to figure out what some other topics to come up with, that's why you haven't heard from me lately. Anyway, one topic I was thinking about is mind uploading. Have you ever heard of mind uploading? If you ever watch the movie Transcendence. You ever watch that movie Transcendence? Anyway, anyway, that movie Transcendence is about mind uploading, and anyway, mind uploading is for real. They can really do that. They can really upload your mind to a computer, to a supercomputer. They don't just have computers; they have supercomputers now. And anyway, there are a lot of targeted individuals that are saying that the government is illegally uploading their mind to supercomputers, And I researched this for a long time, because I wanted to find out if I had any proof of it before I talked about it, But I believe the government, the bad guys, I don't know, whatever you want to call them, is uploading our minds to supercomputers if you're a targeted individual, and it's pretty scary. The other thing I wanted to talk about is false memory syndrome. The CIA is using, I think the CIA is using false memory syndrome to cover up that the CIA is using false memory syndrome. Yeah, the False Memory Syndrome Foundation is a pedophile front connected to the CIA. The False Memory Syndrome Foundation is a pedophile front connected to the CIA. I don't know if you know about the false memory syndrome. It's something invented by these crazy shrinks, saying that, if you're a victim of satanic ritual abuse or maybe sexual abuse or child abuse or any type of abuse, pretty much, that it might be your memories playing tricks on you and everything, and anyway, I have this video saying that the bad guys, are using false memory syndrome to cover up pedophilia and other crimes that they've committed against people. They're saying, and I know this has happened to me. I've gone to get counseling, for because I was a victim of rape a long time ago when I was 21 years old. I was raped by a serial rapist, and I went to go get counseling, and the counselor said, the counselor said, "Are you sure you were really raped?" And I was like, "What?" I was like, I found out, I found out that the guy was a serial rapist, man. What are you talking about? And I found out that he had raped other young girls, besides me, young girls and women besides me. But the bad guys are using psychiatric reprisal, false memory syndrome, gaslighting, to cover up all the crimes that they're doing. They gaslight you. They use false memory syndrome. They use psychiatric reprisal to make you look like you're crazy and stuff. You know what psychiatric reprisal is? If you research psychiatric reprisal, it goes back to the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union used psychiatric reprisal on its citizens, who complained about the government in the Soviet Union. They would throw them in a psych ward to discredit them, against their will and everything, Well, the American government is doing it too. It's not just the Soviet Union. Now the American government is doing it too. Anyway, I don't have a teleprompter or anything. I'm doing this just totally off of the top of my head. So You know, I don't have a fancy teleprompter. All of these journalists on television, they have teleprompters and people helping them out and everything. I do this all off the top of my head pretty much. And then we also have Harvey Weinstein, okay? You know who Harvey Weinstein is. He supposedly hired an army of spies, you know, to harass his victims, you know. And this proves that gang stalking is for real, you know, that the government, the bad guys, maybe very wealthy people can hire people to harass you if you're a whistleblower, and try to drive you crazy and or silence you or get you put in jail or get you put in the psych ward so you won't say anything. And anyway, this article was written in the New Yorker. It's called Harvey Weinstein, The Army of Spies, and it was written by Ronan Farrow. And then what else did we want to talk about? Oh yeah, Jeffrey Epstein. A judge ruled that the Epstein documents in New York court case will stay under seal for now. Okay. Now, what do you think about that? I mean, Jeffrey Epstein, along with other bad guys, we'll just say bad guys so we don't get in trouble. Supposedly, he was involved in, in pedophilia and rape and everything. And the American government is going to seal all the documents pertaining to his case. I don't know how long, if it's going to be indefinitely or if it's just temporarily. But that's what they did to JFK, right? When they had the JFK assassination, they sealed all the documents, and they haven't been opened ever since, I mean, isn't it crazy? Like, so, you really think that the government is going after the bad guys, when they're sealing the documents of pertaining to Jeffrey Epstein's case? I mean, come on, the whole thing is a joke. And then what else did I want to talk about? The mother of all black ops. This is an article that talks about how people are gang stalked, because when targeted individuals, when we say that, the bad guys are gang stalking us, everybody thinks we're nuts and everything. So, but they have the technology to do this, they have some fake targeted individuals out there that are saying that, that they have to I can't talk. They have to microchip you, or they have to put an RFID chip inside of you to stalk you or harass you, but they don't have to do that. They have like technology you wouldn't believe. They don't even have to microchip you. They don't even have to track you through your cell phone. They do have technology where they can track you through your cell phone, but it's not even your cell phone. It's not even a microchip. It's not an RFID chip. Let me read it here. I'll read the article a little bit. The National Security Agency has been used to implement a national EMF brain fingerprinting program in the United States, which can electronically scan the brain waves of any American citizen without the use of an implanted tracking device, RFID. Anyway, the article goes on and on and on, the Signet EMF scanning network is used to target, track, and remotely monitor the brain state of any American citizen of interest without the citizen's knowledge, while totally disregarding that person's inherent rights to privacy and due process of law. Anyway, I don't know. I won't read the whole article because they might not let my video go on YouTube if I read the whole article because but I'll post the article on below my YouTube video so you can read it and everything. But they have the technology to do this. And then he said they can totally disregard the person's inherent rights to privacy and due process of law. I was talking about that in one of my other videos that under all of these laws they passed after 9/11, the government can spy on you. They don't have to have a warrant. They don't even have to have proof that you committed a crime, that the government can spy on you, and you don't even have the right to due process of law. You don't even have the right to an attorney. And also they have what they call pre-crime. Just like you remember that movie Tom Cruise was in Minority Report, and anyway, the movie was about pre-crime. How they thought that he was going to commit a murder, and they arrested him before he supposedly committed the murder. Well, all that stuff is really going on. It's really true. They really do have pre-crime technology. They have pre-crime technology. They also call it like predictive policing. You can look up the word predictive policing and pre-crime. They have all of this technology, man. I mean, a lot of American people. I mean, I don't want to insult everybody, but a lot of American people are dumbed down by the system and everything. I mean, American people still think we're living back in the 1950s or something. I've researched for a long time. I mean, they have technology. The CIA has technology that's maybe like 50 years ahead of the technology that we have personally. I mean, they have technology you wouldn't believe. And so we're not in the 1950s anymore, man. This is like, we're in the technology age now, like the information age. I don't know, whatever they call it. I mean, they have the technology to do all this stuff. And anyway, the bad guys have been trying to scare me. They harass me on a daily basis. I mean, I'll be walking down the street, and all of a sudden some dude will come up and surround me and just give me like this evil look and everything, to try to scare me and everything. And so they don't want this information coming out that all of this stuff is going on. I mean, if they try, the bad guys are trying to scare me. I'm a woman, I hate to say the word, but I mean, I'm an old lady. I'm not a young lady. I'm an old lady. I mean, how could I be a threat to anybody? The only threat that I am is that I'm telling the truth, and telling the truth in America is a no-no now. I mean, we're not allowed to tell the truth. There is no real journalism in America anymore. I mean, it's just really sad, how America has turned out, and our forefathers or our founding fathers or whatever you call them, they would be turning over in their grave, because the CIA is violating our constitutional rights to privacy and to due process, and it's just not right, man. I mean, it's it says in the U.S. Constitution we have the right to an attorney, we have the right to due process, and if you think we've committed a crime, you have to give us due process, and you have to serve a warrant on us, and we have the right to all of these things. It's guaranteed in the Constitution. But the CIA and other alphabet agencies are not going by the Constitution anymore. They're violating our constitutional rights, our civil rights. And by the way, I wanted to say happy Martin Luther King Day. Martin Luther King Day is coming up this Monday, and this is definitely an appropriate time to make a video right before Martin Luther King Day. You know, because Martin Luther King, he died so we could have civil rights, especially so minorities, black people could have civil rights. And I feel real sad because Martin Luther King, I feel like he died in vain, like because years and years later after his death, we really don't have civil rights. Our civil rights and our constitutional rights are being stripped from us. And anyway, I did visit when I went to Washington, D.C. last time. I did visit Martin Luther King's statue. He has like a real big monument and statue in Washington, D.C. What is it called? In the National Mall? I think that's what they call it, I did see his monument when I was there last time. It's really beautiful. But here we are, in the year 2020, and Martin Luther King died, and we're going to celebrate, Martin Luther King's holiday here, and and we still don't have our civil rights. We still don't have our constitutional rights. We are being stripped of all of our constitutional rights and all of our civil rights, and it's really sad. I mean, Martin Luther King, he fought really hard for us, especially for minorities, for Black Americans and Native American Indians and Hispanic people to have civil rights, and we don't feel like we have any, we really don't, and it's sad. Anyway, you guys have a nice weekend, Martin Luther King weekend, and be safe and keep fighting for a good cause. I'm trying to fight for good. I'm not here to do evil. I'm here to do good. I want the American people to be free. I want America is supposed to be a free country. It's supposed to be a free country. I'm fighting. What's my goal? You want to know what my goal is? My goal is for the American people to be free. That's what I want. You want to know what I want? I want the American people to be free. If an American person commits a crime or does something wrong, I want them to have due process. I want them to have a right to an attorney, and those rights are being stripped away from us. But that's what I want, And anyway, you guys have a nice Martin Luther King weekend, and it was nice talking to y'all. And see you later. I'll see you next time.